The Supreme Chancellor's briefing room was as tall as 4 Wookiees, its marble ceiling supported by massive Duracrete pillars. Its vast bay window peered out on Coruscant's magnificent skyline. The Bonadan Embassy and revolving Sky Sitter restaurant were directly across the avenue. At the moment, a cluster of scaled and emerald-eyed Kowadi dignitaries busily exchanged formal pleasantries and goodbyes with the Chancellor and his robed assistants. The 2 Jedi stood in a corner of the room as the ambassadors executed elaborate ceremonial bows. When the diplomats had exited the room, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine finally addressed them. "My pardon for the inconvenience and mystery, my friends," he said. "I hope that you will shortly understand the need for both." The Chancellor sat at his great desk, rectangles of light and shadow dividing his face into quadrants. He turned to the short-haired female technician, who had silently entered the room while the Chancellor spoke. "Lido Shan?" "With pleasure, sir," she said. "When this device first came to our attention, our first priority was to determine exactly how it performs in such an unusual manner. Ordinary scans showed little of note in the inner workings, save for a completely shielded central processor unit. Naturally, that processor was the focus of your investigations," Obi-Wan said. "Naturally," Lido Shan replied. "Opening the processor invalidates the warranty, but we thought it worth the risk." Kit canted his head. "And what did you find?" "Please," Lido Shan said, imitating the Chancellor's tendency for oblique discourse. "In time. Let us begin with an assessment based on its displayed skills. The JK is a force-sensitive biodroid of a type previously considered impossible. For much of the last year, they've been sold throughout the galaxy. Even at inflated prices, they sell faster than they can be manufactured." "Force-sensitive?" Kit scoffed. "Absurd. Why haven't we seen these droids before?" "Because," she replied, "they are the most exclusive, expensive personal security droids available." "And exactly what does this cost?" Kit asked. 80,000 credits. Shan gestured, and a hologram maze of droid circuitry blossomed in the air around her. "And now," she said finally, "we come to the heart of the matter. The secret of their success is a unique living circuit design incorporating organics into the core processor, allowing greater empathy with the owners and superior tactical aggression toward intruders." "Living circuits?" Kit asked. "The processor is actually a life support unit for a creature of unknown origin." The hologram flickered, darkened. A coiled, snake-like, eyeless image appeared. A comparison scale suggested that the creature was the size of Obi-Wan's clenched fist. "And this gives the droid its special qualities?" he asked. "Yes," Lido Shan said. "We believe so. We made a direct request for information from the manufacturers, but they refused to discuss their secrets." "And this manufacturer is?" "Cestus Cybernetics. Are you familiar with Ord Cestus?" Obi-Wan scanned his memory. "The homeworld of Bactoid armor." Lido Shan nodded. "Our Cestian contacts tell us that the animal is called a Dashta eel. This Dashta appears to be non-sentient, which in some ways is even more amazing, representing the first non-sentient creature ever found with a profound level of, well, of force sensitivity. Dashta eels." Obi-Wan glanced at Kit, who shook his head. "When did these Jedi killers first appear on the market?" Kit asked. "About a year ago," Palpatine replied. "Soon after the Clone Wars began. Extensive Trade Federation contracts created a boom on Cestus, which subcontracted for the Bactoid Armor Workshop. After the Battle of Naboo, the Trade Federation distanced itself from the workshop, creating economic chaos. Financially desperate, Cestus turned to the Republic and requested our help. We made A substantial order. He winced. But, unfortunately, we were spread too thin economically, and payment was not prompt. More chaos resulted. We may have misjudged the importance of this small planet. Lido Shan, he said, speak of the Gabanas. Lido Shan sighed. As soon as the war began, we placed certain highly important technical parts on restriction. Among these were Gabana memory crystals, used by Cestus in the manufacture of high-end Cestus security droids, its most famous non-military product prior to the introduction of the JK line. And how did that lead to the current situation? Obi-Wan asked. With the restrictions, Shan said, Cestus's rather delicate economic balance shifted to the negative. Gabanas are the only memory crystals fast enough to power a Class 5 personal security droid. Most battle droids are Class 4 and can run on less extreme hardware. The Chancellor shook his graying head. Cestus was unlucky, and perhaps foolish to place so many of its cocoons in one hutch. Kit Fisto then spoke for both Jedi. So, the situation is quite unstable. Cestus no longer trusts us. The Chancellor nodded. You are doubly tasked, my Jedi friends. I have consulted with the Senate and the Jedi Council, and we agree that you are to contact the Cestian Regent, one Gamai Duris. Regain her trust by taking any necessary steps to preserve their existing social order. We must bring them back into the fold and stem the flow of these obscene Jedi killers. And our resources, sir? Kit asked. The best of the best.